Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! 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 Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and we're going to wrap up our triple feature of Rankin Bass classics and overall our quartet of Christmas episodes to kick off the month of Christmas here on Renegades Reviews by discussing the oft-forgotten Rankin Bass classic, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," starring Joel Grey, George Gobel, Tammy Grimes, John MacGyver, and Alan Swift. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, we're going to close out our opening day of our 31 days of Christmas and the holidays. We're going to wrap up the triple feature of Rankin Bass classics for today, and overall an entire quartet of shows to jump off the month by discussing the often forgotten "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Now, our story is set in the fictional town of Junctionville, New York, around the turn of the 20th century. Santa Claus has been offended by an anonymous letter that was printed in the town's newspaper and signed "All of Us," claiming that Santa does not exist. So, in response, Santa returns the entire town's letters to them, unopened. Upon reading the anonymous letter printed in the newspaper, Father Mouse, a mouse assistant to human clockmaker Joshua Trundle, immediately suspects that his brainy college student son, Albert, is the letter's author. Albert confirms his father's suspicions by repeating the letter to him verbatim when questioned about it. Father Mouse and the Trundle family then devise a plan in order to appease Santa by building a singing clock tower for him, built with a very special recording designed to play a song in order to coax him not to bypass Junctionville on Christmas Eve. Unfortunately, though, Albert enters the clock tower in order to explore it without permission and inadvertently causes it to malfunction in front of the entire town, which seriously damages Trundle's professional reputation. The mayor, publicly embarrassed at the clock tower's failure, refuses to give Trundle access so he can repair it. After confessing his mistake, Albert volunteers to repair it himself, and Father Mouse tells Trundle of the situation before waiting at his bed with worry on Christmas Eve. Although Albert doesn't complete his task till about 1 minute after the midnight deadline, the clock does go off and play its song within earshot of Santa, which convinces him to turn around and visit Junctionville after all, as our movie comes to its end. It always kind of saddens me the way this one is left out of the conversation when everyone begins to discuss Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and even to a lesser extent, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. This feature has been, for the longest time, a bonus feature on the DVD for Frosty's Winter Wonderland, which in of itself is not as popular as the original Frosty and the Lorne Michaels produced Frosty Returns, all of which we're going to talk about tomorrow. But there's just a certain charm to this special that from the minute I saw it many years ago, just captured my heart. You know, you figure you've got this college-age mouse who, along with some of his buddies, decide that they want to submit a letter to the newspaper signed by all of them, stating that Santa doesn't exist. And then you look at the cause and the effect, the domino effect of one person's actions. Because of Albert, and subsequently his friends, but because of Albert, who wrote the letter and submitted it, the entire town suffers. And while it may be a cool haha for you, do all those other innocent people deserve to suffer because of one person's belief, your personal belief? And the answer is always no. So, of course, it takes the entirety of the 25-minute, whatever it is, runtime for Albert to see the error of his ways and go to fix the clock in order to make everything better. The song in the show here, in the movie, Christmas Chimes Are Calling Santa, I think is one of the best things that Rankin Bass has put out. I mean, yeah, you've got Silver and Gold, you've got Holly Jolly Christmas, but as far as original tunes, dare I say, this is the best song in their entire catalog. And it's forgotten because this entire special isn't talked about with the reverency of the ones that I named earlier. And it's just a shame. Even The Year Without a Santa Claus, which we're not doing this year, gets more love en masse than this one does. And for years, that one was forgotten about as well until it had a resurgence about 5 or 10 years ago. But this one is still just one of those, to use a popular term, just kind of locked in the Disney vault there. Like, it exists, it's out there. You just have to know how to hunt for it and find it. And because it's not on CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox, Freeform, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, any of those type of places where you can easily access it, no one even bothers. And it's sad. It's very, very sad for me. Now, when it comes to my rating of this one, I can't honestly give it as high a ratings as I did the others, unfortunately, because it's just not out there in the conversation like the others are. But that doesn't mean that I can't hold it to a high standard. So I'm giving Twas the Night Before Christmas 4 out of 5 stars. And I highly recommend, if you have never seen this before, you hunt it down. Go to eBay, go to Amazon, see if you can find the DVD of Frosty's Winter Wonderland and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. See if you can find the DVD set that came out a few years ago of the other Rankin Bass specials, the ones that aren't Rudolph and Frosty and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's a 4-disc set, and it has How the Grinch Stole Christmas on it. It has The Year Without a Santa Claus. It has this. It has Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. All specials that, with the exception of The Grinch and now The Year Without a Santa Claus, kind of all forgotten about. See if you can find either one of those and watch this. See if it's on YouTube. See if you can find it on Hulu or Amazon Prime or something. I highly recommend it. And I think the more and more people that can see this, the more and more momentum it'll get. And maybe a resurgence will come behind this, as did with The Year Without a Santa Claus a few years back. And maybe we can get this a little bit more into the public consciousness. 4 out of 5 stars for me. What do you guys think of Rankin Bass's 'Twas the Night Before Christmas? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction in the comments below that I'm always asking you guys for. And if you thought today was big, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And while not as big as today was with our quartet, we do have another triple feature in store for you tomorrow. We're going to be discussing the original Frosty the Snowman, featuring the voices of Jimmy Durante, Jackie Vernon, June Foray, Paul Frees, and others. From there, we're going to discuss the oft forgotten sequel, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, featuring the voices of Jackie Vernon, Andy Griffith, Shelley Winters, Paul Frees, and others. And then we're going to wrap up the trifecta, the hat trick, if you will, by discussing the sequel that gets a little bit more play, Frosty Returns, a Lorne Michaels produced special featuring the voices of John Goodman, Jonathan Winters, Jan Hooks, Brian Doyle Murray, amongst others. You're not going to want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios tomorrow on all new episodes of Renegades Reviews, the Frosty the Snowman trilogy. So make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Open Mic Night, Stat Boy Sports Bar, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles, fans of Christmas, fans of the story Twas the Night Before Christmas, fans of Joel Grey, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in this video, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized and make some money on these videos. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.